Welcome, beloved, to day 50 in our Minor Arcana card pull in this series, Living the Tarot. So we're winding it down to about a week left of these shorter videos with some description on this card so that when you meditate it, you can really use your intuition, description, and see how this fits for you. Okay, so this card it's for, the fire energies, Aries, Leo, Sag, and can be about defense or protection. The number 9 can be about changes coming for the better, right? Almost done to that cycle with the 10 of Wands. Oftentimes, this card is also called the Wounded Warrior. Okay. A bandaged man stands defensively before his fortress, his battle stick in his hand. He looks out cautiously, suspiciously even, prepared to fight and protect his territory. I find it interesting that the Rider-Waite deck is so bland with its imagery here. And then this one with the Arcanum, it's like you can really see he's defending the castle, the fortress, the wall. Okay. This card can be about the seekers up in arms, prepared for battle, but in the defensive position rather than the offensive one. Despite past injury, the seeker is still full of fire and ready to fight another day. However, the card urges that there is another way. The seeker does not need to be so defensive and overprotective. The seeker feels like he or she is in a defensive, protective mode, like he has the fight to defend his or her territory. The seeker's physical faculties are exhausted from all the fighting, but the seeker refuses to acknowledge this exhaustion and address it. Like the fellow depicted in the card, the seeker refuses to ask others for help and instead is left alone to defend his or her territory, and thus is stuck in that position, unable to go elsewhere. As a result, the seeker is in a defensive mode, alone, protecting what the seeker has rather than exploring the beyond to gain more. There is also the suggestion of passive stance rather than active. The character in the card seems to be waiting for something to happen. He is not adventurous like the character in the Two of Wands who is looking around and beyond, or marching in victories in the Six of Wands. This is someone who just wants to defend what is rightfully his or hers. He's not defiant, fearless, or resistant like the character in the Seven of Wands. The man here in the Knight of Wands is a bit more resigned than the other characters, acquiescing to his circumstances, though certainly not willing to give anything up either. The Knight of Wands depicts a character who is a conservative position, one resistant to change, and as a result might not be able to achieve progress or expansion. It is worth noting that the seeker's protective fortress is not quite as impenetrable as the seeker believes. Note how far apart each of the wands is set. The seeker might be standing guard in front of the greatest vulnerability in the fortress, but there are other vulnerable areas he's not able to guard, right? And sometimes if you have that narrow-mindedness, it can be hard to see the bigger picture. Okay, if this card appears in a love reading, right, it can indicate the seeker is overprotective, jealous. It is difficult for the seeker to let go of control and simply trust others, which we know is definitely can be difficult for a relationship to be healthy and move forward. In a professional development reading, getting the Nine of Wands can be about being overprotective of the seeker's territory at work or others encroaching. Something to really be aware of, beloved. As you look at this card, or if this card comes up for you, how is this reflected? Can you see areas where maybe you're defensive, narrow-minded, especially maybe at work or over a project or business, or maybe just sort of on guard in a relationship? Hmm? Or if you have a tendency to be this way, can you see how this might hinder your progress? And also, how can this card's energy be helpful to you? So, beloved, I hope you have a fabulous day meditating on the Nine of Wands. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow and stay grounded.